you might find, okay, the commonalities of I like the community, which are the entrepreneurs, and maybe they like the flexibility aspect of like, yeah, I can come, for example, for me, I can come at like the morning classes, but if the next day I have a meeting somewhere else, I can come at the evening classes. And if I don't want to come at any classes and I can't. But if I want to come to every classes the next week, I can as well. So that's a specific person. You can also have like, for example, the moms as well. Okay, so those moms are gonna perhaps come in the middle of the morning after putting the kids at school, something like that. And so you can find those different buckets. Once you define those different buckets, you got to figure out, okay, what do they like? What are their goals? What are their problems? And resonate with that. And instead of trying to like demographic and do like, I don't know, like targeting on Facebook and see like, oh, I want to talk to moms or whatever. Best advice is just make a video with a mom talking about mom stuff and how being a mom is cool being in your gym.
Yeah.
If I have to like sum it up in everything, that's what it is. You see the person that you want to have. You make sure that you show how this person is as either solve a problem or achieve something good at your gym. And you're going to have other people that want to solve this problem or achieve something similar in the gym. Be like, I kind of want this. Let me check this place out. And that's basically what this is. Like, ad standpoint, because it's quite easy to like, if I am, let's say, a black woman, I'm probably gonna get more black women coming into my gym, for example, because I likeness, people are gonna be resonating with me a little more, you know. Like if I am like a Asian male, I'm probably gonna resonate with this demographic a lot more. So yeah, take exactly the people that you want with your similar situations, put them in the ads, try to resonate with what they want, and also a little nugget on top of that, what they want initially going to the gym, because what they want before they join the gym is very different to them 3 years after that. Most people sometimes, most gym owners are like, oh yeah, but talk about only the community aspect of that. Yeah, but like they end up like, for example, for me, I was a gym goer, global gym goer. At the beginning, I didn't like people. I didn't like, I just liked working out alone with my thing and just leave me alone. When I got to CrossFit, I was like, ah, it's efficient. I like the way of training. The people I don't know really much. Like I don't know if I like to be in a group cross thing aspect. And then you start making some friends. I came for the performance aspect at the beginning, but because I am surrounded with people, and I'm like, ah, I don't wanna be the last one. I wanna, you know. You end up giving like a 20% extra, 40% extra. And that's how I actually, for me, I was like, oh, so at the beginning was about this, but then the community became a vehicle for me to actually get back to something. But I was not you couldn't tell me, hey, come for the community. But at the beginning, I was like, nah, not for me. So I would say with that, we've talked about two things. So attracting the people, and then there is this journey of evolution. And that's, I would say, it comes a little more into onboarding and basically the transition between sales and coaching a service and the retain aspect. How do you have a beautiful bridge with little flowers on top of it so that it can go smoothly, and you can also make sure that they actually cross that bridge in the best way possible. Like if I have to sum it all up in a couple of minutes, that's how I would describe it pretty much.
Yeah, what's interesting is you said something very similar about the marketing and getting people in that I'm saying about how do you just coach people, which is
Yeah.
what are their problems? What are they wanting? How can I help them? Right? And that's like that invites me more in to be like, oh yeah, probably there is some places for me to market better, right? And that's another reason I was like, yeah, let's talk, because I love that idea that everybody comes to the gym with some need. Like I'm not just coming there for no reason. It's like, hey, I'm training for this. I want to better that. My mom got cancer. I want to avoid it. Whatever. Hey, I want to look better in clothes. I want to compete. But then once you're there, oftentimes within a year or two, those same things aren't the same goals.
Yeah.
And so getting them in is that same, it just sounded to me, I'm resonating. I was like, maybe that's an invitation to me as a coach. Like getting them in is the same thing I do once they're there, which is invite them in like, hey, what is your problem? How can I help you? What are we up to? And showing them maybe already that we have the solution to that problem. So like you said, if I have any particular demographic, I can show them like, hey, this is what they're doing here. And then other people will see, like, oh, I can get my needs met there. That's really exciting. I like that.
No, for sure. And I think, Thomas, you can speak to that a little bit deeper because you actually were on the terrain, had a gym in the trenches. So I think you can speak to that a little bit, perhaps deeper than I can.
I need to take just one super short break, like 30 seconds.
Sure. No problem. Take your time.
This guy. This guy is crazy, man.
I didn't see the time.
Flying.
Didn't see the time flying, bro. It's going so fast. Even with Daniel as well.
Yeah, it's like only 15 minutes. So yeah. Yeah. But it would be easier to like le montage.
Yeah.
Easy. Just I don't know if you are going to just make some subtitles or you try to like make that, but like
we're gonna try to do an AI of a French dub. So basically to have the AI just make us talk in French. I'm gonna see how this goes. And if not, just putting subtitles will be fine, I think.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be interesting because like he has like some of community guys who are follow him on the social medias and like, but I would be like close to be more a part of like the process of the clips because like I've met some things and I'd like to see about that before like publishing. It's like that would be easier like to publishing there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have like 15 minutes there?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, 15 minutes.
Maybe half hour, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe half hour. Okay, good. So when it's time because like time flies away. It's 2 hours. To be a transition about that because like I can go deeply, of course I can go deeply inside that aspects about business and everything and the terrain, like because like as you said, for example, what I like about is like big counterpart about what you can think like quantum physics, it's totally counterintuitive, and while marketing is sometimes counterintuitive because like the face like, you know what, go niche yourself inside that, and it's like, well, but process is for everyone. No, man, niche down, be a specialist of that niche down, and then after you can expand if you want. But it's not because the guy is surfing and it's like how Greg told you. It's not the how do you say that? The needs of people don't depends on
the needs of the Olympic athlete or the needs of people do not vary. They vary by degree and not by kind.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's
athlete needs dominance. Yeah.
That's exactly the same in marketing. It's like you think that your mom, who is 75, who is very, I saw her and she was like, yeah, very super energetic and etc. The needs of her as human does change a lot by my needs, who is like 50 years old before, and another part of 40 girls and who is like Arabic, French, or Australian or Asian. We all don't care. We have all the same needs and all the same complex and all the same bad aspects about us and bad vision about us. So niche down, and you can niche down not because not about social demographics parts, but more about like when you see yourself in the mirror, you feel bad. You want to fit good into some clothes, etc., etc. It's like, I don't care if you're surfing or not, that's not a part. But we can talk about that a lot of hours, but it will stay not so many times. So what I say, but in comparison to the not in comparison, but like corroborating to what you're saying is like, why do you think? And I think it's the evolution of the methodology and the evolution of the why the needs of metabolic radar for you have popped up in 2026 and not in 2015, for example.
Oh yeah, so great question about how I got into this metabolic radar stuff is that in 2015 I think that we were super focused on performance. I think Greg's initial starting point was purely athletics. It was everybody's doing fitness wrong and I have the answer. And not even so much he had the answer, but everyone's doing it wrong and why are they doing it wrong? And maybe there's a different way. There was no there was no structured, no institutionalized framework for how do you coach people through physical endeavors. And I'll maybe misstate it or misdo it, but I think that one of the things he realized, or at least instilled in me, is that the impact that training in the physical domain has on the entirety of your life, like you were saying, the holistic piece of your nutrition and your mental health and all that stuff, the impact the gym has on everything outside of the gym was so profound. And he just knew that training, the act of training, right, that setting your ego to the side, learning new skills, doing the right things for the right people for the right reasons, all of that expounded past the gym. And so if we just focused in on getting people more physically healthy, like, hey, more capable, more competent, more, well, now you show up in the world as a better person, right? Like he used to always make the joke. It's like, hey, whatever you want in your life, you come to me, and I've done this with people too. It's like, look, you're starting CrossFit, great. Write down 3 things you want, close it in an envelope. Do CrossFit with me for 3 months. We'll open it up and we'll see if you're closer to those things. I don't care what those things are. I will make you better. I will get you closer to what you want to be. I will shepherd you to a better version of yourself through the physical domain. And so I think that being the impetus and the start of it all, we were just hyper focused on the mechanics of being technicians of coaching. What Greg always had a gift for that I don't think in 2015 was taught necessarily was how to be with people. Greg had an uncanny ability to ask all the questions. He knew all of his athletes backwards and forwards, and he cared for them in a way that I don't think most, or I know for certain that most level 1 trainers don't have the capacity when they get there. They can get there, but they don't start there. And so he had that unique capacity to tend to his people in the physical domain, and it spread everywhere else. And so that's where the focus was. And I think he always knew, and I've always felt, and I think the team has always felt, that we are in this nascent science kind of realm, which is we are in the discovery phase. We are not in the answer phase. We are hunting, we are searching for the whole time. And that search has just pushed us towards the metabolics, right? We've learned more, and we've done an amazing job as a community teaching movement and getting coaches to understand how to deadlift and run and jump and throw and push and pull. And so the training side, we've really just focused in on so well. I feel like the nutrition side has been talked as important as what is fitness in a 100 world, but eat meat and vegetables. It's the first thing, right? Is to do the nutrition. But I think in application and in coaching and in teaching and in educating, that the community did not focus there. We focused on the physical province. And I think now that as we continue to evolve and continue to grow and hold on to the importance of the physical province, we're starting to see that, hey, maybe I can, and this is kind of my thrust to the metabolic radar. So Greg asked, what is fitness and who has it? And then he went through gymnastics, metabolic conditioning, weightlifting, monostructural movements, full range of motion, high intensity force, and defined all his terms on that. And so after 20 years of living in that space and struggling my own self with nutrition, watching all my athletes struggle with the nutrition side, or what's holding them back and where's the failure to thrive, is where's the measurable, observable, repeatable measurements of my nutritional inputs outside of the physical province. So sure, hey, you run faster, you have more pull-ups, you can deadlift more. It probably says something about your capacity as a person, but does it say anything about your blood pressure or your glucose levels or anything that? And I'd say maybe not. And so my question now to the community, right, is, well, what is metabolic health and who has it? Just like what is fitness? And so what we can see now, right, is that maybe we can define some terms around metabolic health so that we can then drive that adaptation and drive that province and education thing towards what are the measurable, observable, repeatable things about nutritional inputs. And I feel like nutrition in the social media space right now is nothing but dogma and internet gurus. Do this program exactly like this and you'll look exactly like that. And that's never the case.
GPT or
It just
AI.
does not. It's just not the case, right? And so we've gotten super good at measuring, observing fitness and scaling fitness. We have not got that good at doing that with the nutrition, right? And I only get you an hour a day. So all that nutrition that you're doing at your home, how do I know? Oh, I eat pretty good, coach. Yeah, but your A1C is at, 5.8. Oh yeah, no, I do pretty good. Yeah, but your muscle mass is, on this way to some of this, like, how do we educate and then put this operational definition into metabolic health, I think is just the natural evolution of the program. Like I said, it's not a deviation from CrossFit, it's just an expansion of it. And so the way I've decided to define and operationalize it is basically this: metabolic health is the capacity to regulate energy, recover from stress, and preserve functionality. Each one of those capacities needs to be defined. So we could say, all right, what is regulating energy? Well, it's macronutrient tolerance. You're going to eat carbohydrates, fat, and protein. In what ratio does it work for you? And how can I measure that? Not, hey, you have to eat this ratio and that ratio, and now you're fit. Well, that's not the same for you as it is for me. I have a different need than you do. I have a lot of bone density, but too much adipose tissue. You have no bone density, and you know what I mean? So one. And so that would be the one, is what is your macronutrient tolerance? How can you tolerate the food, and can I measure that? Because we're seeing chronic disease come in that area. Hey, guess what? You have these bad blood markers and you're getting closer to diabetes and you're getting hypertension